Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Columbus Day Dinner of 2006. I'm David Anthony Pope. I'm going to be your Master of Ceremonies tonight. At this time, I would like to bring up Vito Pinto. Vito, can you come up? If you could lead us in the pledge.
I certainly will. Thank you. You'll all rise, please. Where's the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much, Vito. Thank you. Everyone can be seated. At this time, I'd like the band. Well, you know what? We got to get back up for the... Sorry, we got to get back up one more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise.
Sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Italian national anthem.
Dell'elmo di Scipio s'è giunta alla testa, dove la vittoria le porta la chioma, che schiava di Roma il Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a corte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte.
Okay, now you can be seated.
Real.
I would like to welcome everyone here tonight, not only to celebrate our awardees, but to celebrate Columbus Day and our Italian heritage. For those who do not know my family's history with Columbus Day, it was my late great-grandfather, Vereruso Pope, who petitioned the President of the United States to make Columbus Day a national holiday. It was also Vereruso Pope who founded the Columbus Day Parade in New York City in 1929 and was its Grand Marshal from 1929 for 20 years to 1949. This is the first year that the Columbus Day Committee of Eastchester and Tuckahoe, the Garibaldi Lodge, and the Eastchester Italian American Citizens Club has united to hold one dinner to celebrate together. The process has been wonderful. Everyone has worked extremely hard on the dinner and on the parade. I urge all of you tonight to come out and celebrate on October 8th and show your Italian pride to the rest of the community when we march. At this time, I would like to bring up Father Rasser for the invocation from Immaculate Conception Church.
And you don't have to worry about getting up. But we do bow our heads and pray. May the Lord God be with us at this meal and gathering in honor of a great son of Italy and discoverer of the New World, Christopher Columbus. Bless those who prepared our meal, those who serve us, and those who have made this night possible. And always remember the poor and those less fortunate than we. We thank you for all the good gifts and the benefits which you have graciously given to us all. Make us strong in our faith and active in our good deeds. We ask you to watch over our friends, bless our honorees, keep them safe in your love, and may then this night be filled with good food, good drink, and the camaraderie of good people. Allora, preghiamo nella lingua di Cristobal Columbus. O Dio, benedisci tutti noi questo cibo che stiamo per consumare, con la nostra vita fa che possiamo portare amore e pace agli altri. Mantenecci sempre nel tuo amore, come insieme partecipiamo di questo cibo, e giungiamo mani, cuori questo convivio. Possiamo toccare ogni cosa e ogni persona con rispetto e amore. O Dio, per questo cibo, per ciascuno di noi qui presenti, per ogni creatore, ti ringraziamo per il nome grande di Dio. Amen. Not bad for an Irishman, huh?
At this time, I'd like to announce a few dignitaries. I'm going to run through this as fast as I can. County Legislator Vito Pinto, also our parade chair. Eastchester Town Supervisor Anthony Calavita. Tuckahoe Mayor Michael J. Martino. Bronxville Mayor Mary Marvin. Town Board Member Vicki Ford. Town Member Michael Cahalan. Village of Tuckahoe Trustees Luigi Marcoccia. Tuckahoe Village Trustee John Fitzpatrick. Eastchester Fire Chief Michael Grogan. Tuckahoe Schools Superintendent Dr. Michael Uzerlo. There are probably a couple other dignitaries that I might have missed. Senator Klein was gracious enough to drop off some proclamations. I think Joe Savino's in. Is Joe Savino here? Joe Savino was here. At this time, I'd like to bring up Supervisor Calavita and Mayor Michael Martino to say a few words.
Buonasera, everyone. Hearing Dave speak of his grandfather, I immediately thought of my own grandfather. When we were younger, he told me of an old story that the old Italians would tell each other about how when they would come to this country, they would find that the roads were paved with gold. But he said that when he got here, he learned three things. One, they weren't paved with gold. Two, they weren't paved at all. And three, he had to pave them. But that was one of the core values that he shared with me, the value of industry and hard work, which is one of the principles that Italian Americans, I think, value so greatly. Part of Columbus Day is all about rehashing and telling our children and others the important things that Italian Americans have done for this country and the things that we value most, like family, like education, and like the value of hard work. So again, to the committee, thank you so much. You did a magnificent job. To David, God bless you and all the hard work you put into this event. This is a spectacular success. I wish you all the best, and next year I know will be even bigger. Thank you.
Great job. Yeah, give it to Mike.
Good evening, everyone. You know, I look around the room and I don't see over 300 people smiling and having dinner and having a good time. What I see is a typical Sunday dinner at an Italian-American household. Maybe a few more than at my house usually, but not too many more. Because tonight we are a family. And this is really what it's all about, being a family and the family values of pride and unity. That Sunday dinner, when we sit around the table with the kids and we talk about our culture and we tell stories and jokes, that's really reinforcing our values, and we're passing on traditions. And that's what we're doing tonight also. And even when, you know, mama or the wife or the mother makes the pasta, there's pride in everything that's done, and pride being around the table with family. Tonight, we have that same pride, the same unity of all the groups being together. So I really want to thank David. I want to thank the committee. We're going to thank them all officially later, but people did a lot of work here. It's a great night, and I think it's a great night and a proud night to be Italian. So enjoy yourselves.
At this time, I would like to bring up Rachel Bertuzzi to sing for us. She is a lyric soprano. She's a senior at Eastchester High School. Come on up, don't be shy. And also a student at Hoff-Barthelson. So I'll pass it over.
about a big round of applause, everyone? Come on. Let's hear it nice and loud. All right.
Thank you very much. That was one of Eastchester's own. Let's give her another round of applause. At this time, Jerry and Vito, not Vito Pinto, the other Vito. I would like to call up Jerry Mignardi, Vito Catania, to present an award. I will get the award. I got it down here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, watch this. Gina, you have to come up here. Gina Attinello. Yes, you too. I'm just going to get some. Sure.
You'll start? If I could just have everyone's attention for a moment.
There it is.
I want to thank everyone involved in this evening. I want to thank everyone involved this evening, especially David, for inviting the Garibaldi Lodge and Eastchester Italian American Citizens Club to partake in this event and co-sponsor it with him. And we could only do it with the help. I mean, we're up here representing our organizations. There are a lot of people behind us who did a lot of work to make tonight the success it is, and are going to do that same work to make the parade and the festival the success that it is. And one of the hardest things we had to do was, one of the most fun things we had to do was to interview candidates for the scholarship for Miss Columbus Day. And Gina is up here with us, and I'm going to pass the mic to Jerry to say something about her. But Gina is a very, very, very well-deserving student, a representative of Italian Americans in Eastchester and Tuckahoe. And she's an exceptional student. She's going to be going off to a great college next year, and she's in her senior year in Tuckahoe High School. And we've got Rachel representing Eastchester here tonight singing, and Gina tonight is Miss Columbus. And, you know, these are two products of your school systems. So I think you should all be proud of that, and I'd like Jerry to say something.
Thank you, Vito. Anyway, Gina, as you all know, is a senior at Tuckahoe High School. She's excelled academically there. She's a member of the Honor Society, the National Honor Society, and the Italian Honor Society. Besides scholastically, she's also representing Tuckahoe on the athletic arenas. She is the captain of both her volleyball team, the varsity volleyball team, and the softball team. Matter of fact, this past year, I think she was also recognized as the, she got recognition as the All-League honorable mention for both sports, which I think is a pretty good accomplishment. When she's not at school, she's involved in a lot of, participates in a lot of the numerous activities as far as community services are concerned. One of her great achievements, I think she has mentioned to us, is that she was selected as the student ambassador representing the United States in Australia and New Zealand as for the people-to-people program. She's planning on attending college, obviously, in the fall, and she's going to major in education. I think she has a special interest in that, and I just want to thank Gina. I want to congratulate her, and I'm sure I want to make a presentation to her. This is a presentation. This is the Vereruso Pope Foundation Scholarship for $10,000, and I'm sure if David wants to say anything on this.
Congratulations.
You're up in 1 minute. It's my distinct pleasure to give this young girl and a distinct pleasure of my family to award this $10,000 scholarship. Very well deserving. She's going to say a few words now, and then she will also be in the Columbus Day Parade. And once again, everyone here, please come out. And now I'll pass it over to Gina. Are you ready?
Gentili ospiti, buonasera e benvenuti a tutti. Prima di tutti vorrei ringraziare il comitato della Columbus Day di Eastchester e Tuckahoe. Inoltre vorrei ringraziare di cuore al signor Davide Pope e a tutti gli altri membri del comitato per il corso di studio della Fondazione Vereruso Pope. The Italian culture has enriched my life with its unique traditions and values. Having grown up Italian has shaped my life into who I have become. One's family and culture make them who they are, and my Italian heritage has definitely impacted my life. Ever since I was a little girl, I aspired to be a teacher. Now, as I'm beginning to think about college, I look forward to pursuing a career in special education. Several Italian women have influenced my career choice and life. Maria Montessori has inspired me to become involved with children and help find new methods of learning. Coming from a family of educators, I realized that it was my destiny to continue and follow the path of my relatives to make a difference in people's lives. Matilda Cuomo has significantly influenced my life. As a role model, our former First Lady has impressed upon me the importance of studying our rich cultural roots, advocating for children, and contributing to our communities. Her dedication to making society a better place has opened my eyes and made me realize that I, too, want to make a difference. I also wish to inspire others, as I have been by the women around me. My Nonna has personally touched and left an imprint on my life. She showed me the importance of family, independence, and also how to live life to its fullest with laughter and love. I learned all my Italian traditions and values from her. I will always remember our weekly family gatherings for pasta on Sundays, growing tomatoes in the garden, and her readiness to prepare a meal in a minute's notice for any unexpected guests. I am determined to pass on these customs I have learned from her to my children. I know her presence is with me right now, but I wish she was here with me to share this special honor. I know she'd be so proud of me. I would like to thank the Vereruso Pope Foundation again and the Scholarship Committee for choosing me for this special honor. I feel privileged at the prospect of representing a foundation whose mission has been to promote the Italian language, culture, and heritage. I look forward to working with the Vereruso Pope Foundation in promoting the genius and richness of our Italian culture. Di nuovo ringrazio a voi tutti per questa unica opportunità di rappresentare la mia cultura italiana.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up Antoinette Martino. You have to call up Michelle. I got to get the award.
When I called Michelle to congratulate her on this award, she said to me, "I don't understand why the committee's honoring me. I don't do anything special. I just live a simple, ordinary life." So I said to her, "Well, gee, Michelle, in my opinion, cooking a soup to nuts annual Thanksgiving dinner for 150 senior citizens seems pretty extraordinary. And I think quite a few of them also think so because they're here tonight to share in her honor." Michelle may think that fundraising, designing, overseeing the construction of and dedication of the beautiful Msgr Oliverio Prayer Garden at Assumption Church is a simple task. I see both her work and the resulting prayer garden as magnificent. In fact, I believe we can all agree that her dedication to her parish, serving on the parish council, singing in the choir, and leading the Rosary Altar Society is pretty special. And again, many of her fellow parishioners are here tonight again to pay her tribute. We can also all agree that volunteering 24 years of service to the Tuckahoe Auxiliary Police, where she currently holds the rank of lieutenant, is quite an accomplishment. Michelle has worked for the town in both villages. She volunteers for the Jim Duty Foundation. She belongs to the Calitrin Connection, the Westchester Community College Italian Club, and at one time DARE, serving our youth. Michelle, you are a woman of remarkable faith. What distinguishes you, however, is your ability to act upon your faith through your many good works for our community. You do it humbly and without fanfare. That's what makes your life not a simple and ordinary one, as you say, but one that is completely and without question special and extraordinary. I now ask everyone to join me in honoring Anne Michelle Pinto as we present her with the Msgr Anthony Maltese Award, Humanitarian of the Year.
hold them for you.
I'd like to thank the committee for having faith in me, I guess. And I'd also like to thank my fellow parishioners and my friends. My parents taught me well. They always did things for other people. They were always there for anybody in need. Always told me that there's always somebody worse off than us, and always be there for someone when they need you. My little ever-ready battery over there, my dad, who's 98, made it tonight. We didn't think he was going to. Sorry. I'd like to thank my brother, Michael, and his wife, Rosemary, my brother, Vito, and his wife, Sally, my sister, Marie, and her husband, Johnny, my 12 nieces and nephews, all my cousins and my friends, because without them, I would be nobody. Thank you very much for having faith in me. And I have to thank the senior citizens, because they make my life worthwhile. Every time I do something for them, they put a smile on their face and always thank me, and that makes me happy. So thanks for being here, and thank you guys for having faith in me. Thank you. Get my award. Yeah.
Okay. At this time, it's that time to introduce the Grand Marshal, which is James Vereruso. James, could you please come up? This is very dangerous to have my attorney up here and I have the mic. This is good.
And I can't charge it.
I started to write my speech and I received a phone call saying that I would like to say something. Then I continued to write my speech and I received another phone call saying that I would like to say something. So there's a couple people, we're going to try and keep this short, but there's a couple people that would like to say a few words, and I'll keep mine short. But at this time, I'd like to call up Tony Calavita to say a few words.
Little proclamation time. As many of you probably know, Jim works for Griffin, Coogan, and Vereruso. And when I first become familiar with that firm, I knew there was Bill Griffin and Jim Coogan. I thought he was the token Italian guy. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out over there.
They're still working on it.
Still working on it, he said. But if you know the firm, you know that this is the guy. He is the main wheel, and everything else in that firm turns around him. He is an absolutely superb attorney. He is a consummate professional in all aspects of his life. He is a wonderful, decent, and genuine person. I had the good fortune of meeting my wife in law school while she was working for his firm. So he's taking credit for my 4 children and all the stuff that we have going on in our lives. But I can tell you, you could find no better Grand Marshal to head up the Columbus Day Parade this year than Jim Vereruso. And the town board, many of us are here this evening, has declared today to be James J. Vereruso Day in the town of Eastchester. Thank you. Stay up here for Michelle?
He wants the mic. I'm not giving him the mic yet. At this time, I'm not going to give my speech yet, but I'd like to call up another person who called me in reference to say a few words, and we're going to try and keep this short. Frank Genentino, are you here? Thank you.
Before Jim became my brother-in-law, he has been, and will always be, James, my cousin. This is probably one of the few times you'll ever hear me call him Jim. And I'm sure if Grandma was here, she'd want to know, what's a Jim? Who's a Jim? I don't understand. Louder? Okay. Did you hear what I said about my grandmother? Okay. The only one in the family that speaks or says Jim is Lillian. And Lillian has lots of names for him, and she's allowed to say Jim. What I don't think most of you know is that we're first-generation Americans. Our parents, 3 of them came from a beautiful island called Sicily. 1 of them came from a nice little town called Naples. I'm the purebred Sicilian. He is the half-bred.
I had that line in my speech.
Did you really? Oh, I am really sorry about that. Okay. Well, what can I tell you? I'm here not to really talk about him, but I want to talk about 2 people that got him here, and it's his parents. Unbelievable people. Taken from one country, brought to another, foreigners, have to learn a new language, a new way of living, a new way of dealing. His parents met, Ann and Jack, started a family in a little apartment in Brooklyn, but the one thing they knew was the American dream, and they instilled it in the 3 children. They have been, and my aunt and uncle should be very proud, each one of them in their own field, very successful. Law, education, and science. So to my aunt and my uncle, I want to say thank you. You should be very proud. David, thank you for tonight. And James, there you go.
But I'm going to try and move this along. Jim has been asked to be Grand Marshal because of his true and loyal dedication to the Italian community. Jim exemplifies what it is to be an Italian American. When I first met Jim, I heard that he was very passionate about being Italian American. So I decided to test his passion and ask him a few questions. Well, let me tell you, I might possibly know more than his family knows about him. It started when he was a young boy, and it goes on and on and on. But to hear the passion and to hear what his family went through and what he went through growing up really exemplifies once again what it is to be a proud Italian American. Now, Jim has worked very hard to where he is today, but Jim was not only, he was working to become a highly respected attorney, but his whole career wasn't about law. Now I'm going to throw something out there. One thing that he did growing up was he was a taxi driver. And I have to throw that out there. For one reason, to become a taxi driver, to pay for college. For some reason, I think that is where he honed his tenacious negotiating skills of today. Still today, he never forgot his humble beginnings. And the one thing that I could say is, Jim being my attorney, thank God he was a taxi driver for the mere fact that I call him up during the day, he's in an important meeting, I don't care what it is, and I say, interrupt Jim, I need to talk to him right away, right now. Okay, so Claire interrupts and gets Jim on the phone.
I know where this is going.
Claire interrupts, gets him on the phone, and he, very quiet, Dave, what is it? I'm in a really important meeting. Jim, I'm stuck on 69th Street. I don't know how to get around this. Could you please tell me how to go? I can't believe you're interrupting. No, please. And he'd tell me every single time. So, Jim, I'd like to thank you for that. But needless to say, Jim has always been there for the Italian community, and it's where his heart is. And just to let you know, I'll fill you in on one other thing. With Jim's pride, when Italy won the World Cup, Jim took the opportunity to fly the Italian flag outside the window of his office in Bronxville for days. Never receiving a complaint or a summons That is either because Bronxville has accepted his pride, or they were all afraid to say anything because the law firm represents 80% of Bronxville. I would have to say that my great-grandfather is smiling in heaven that the right man has been chosen for this award. My fellow Italian Americans, it is with great honor that I present this award to James J. Vereruso.
Thank you, David. This is sort of, this is your life. I might be dating myself, but I want to thank everyone on the committee for making tonight a great success. There are many people to thank, and I can't thank them enough. This is a wonderful honor, and I deeply appreciate it. And if you will, I would like to accept this honor in memory of my parents, Ann and Jack Vereruso. I also want to congratulate my co-honoree, Rochelle Pinto. It's an honor for me to be co-honoree with Michelle. I'm a very fortunate man. I am married to a beautiful and very special lady, my wife, Lillian Vereruso. I've been married to this special lady for 31 years. I know I don't look it, but... and this year we were blessed. We became grandparents. Isabella Grace was born June 5th at 9:37. Don't ask me the time of my children, but I will tell you the time of my grandchild. And let me tell you, being a grandfather and grandmother is an incredible experience. I can't describe it. At first I thought, gee, grandfather, you know, it sounds like you're getting older. But let me tell you, it is wonderful. I'd like to ask now in the audience, those of you who are Sicilian, would you please raise your hand?
Here we go.
I hope we got everybody who's Sicilian. You know, sometimes they're afraid to, you know, what's this guy asking? Why is he asking this question? All right, I need to hear from the Neapolitans now. Raise your hand, please. All right. I'd like to ask if anyone is of Sicilian and Neapolitan descent. I thought I was the only one. That's great. If you're Sicilian and Neapolitan, you're kind of schizophrenic to begin with. Sicily is an incredible island. Sicilians don't consider themselves Italians all the time. It depends. When they win the World Cup, they're Italian. The rest of the year, or the rest of the 4 years in between cups, they're Sicilians. My mother, Ann, was born in Catania, Sicily, Italy, and she came to this country when she was 16. My father, Jack, was born in this country and then was raised in Italy. Being Sicilian and Neapolitan is a very interesting combination, and it was an interesting household to grow up with the relatives. You get the Sicilians who are sort of reserved and, you know, they're very suspicious, and then you get the Neapolitans who are more dramatic. They're singers, Pavarotti, they're just a little more outgoing. So I had that mixture growing up, and it was wonderful. Some of my relatives are here tonight, and when you come from an Italian family, it's an extended family. You're between cousins, aunts, uncles. It's one family. Tonight we celebrate our heritage, and what a rich heritage it is. The contributions we have made in the endeavors, all endeavors of life, the arts, fashion, design, wine, entertainment, are immeasurable. And I mentioned before the World Cup, but if you think about it, Italy did not win with a well-timed goal. Italy won with a well-timed insult. And if you think about it, we do that very well. What other country could win in that fashion? Only Italy. It was classic. It was wonderful. I am proud to be a trustee of the Westchester Italian Cultural Center. The Vereruso Pope Foundation is the benefactor of the Cultural Center, and I'm very proud to be a trustee of that institution, which is in Tuckahoe and which will be beginning programs roll out beginning in October and then through next year. I'd like to tell you a short story which I think says a lot about the Italian American community and also about pride. In July of this year, a hearing was held by the Senate Armed Services Committee. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the highest ranking officer in the United States, was testifying. This was a four-star general who suddenly broke into tears at a Senate committee. He was talking about his immigrant parents and the sacrifices they made and the opportunities that this country afforded his parents. After composing himself, he concluded with these remarks: "There is no other country on the planet that affords that kind of opportunity to those who come here." The man who spoke these words, General Pace, actually Pace, happens to be Italian American. But this story touches all of us because we can all relate to it. Whether you're Italian or not, we can relate to the immigrant experience. It was said before that our ancestors came here, our parents, grandparents, they came here with a dream. They struggled, they sacrificed, but think about it, their dream came true, and they did it all for us. Everyone in this room, they did it for us. And most importantly of all, they gave us two gifts. These two gifts form the pillars of our heritage. One, La Familia, the family, and the importance of the family. And two, and the two actually work together, Vivere con passione, live your life passionately. Those are the two pillars of our heritage, and tonight we honor those who came before us. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
All right, everyone sit down and enjoy, and we'll be back up in a little bit. At this time, I would like to call up to the podium Vito Pinto, Supervisor Calavita, Mayor Martino, Mayor Marvin, Before we move forward with the proclamations, I would like to also welcome school board members Vito Catania, who you saw before, Tony Guccione, Westchester Community College Professor Sclafani, Mr. and Mrs. Lindia. And I would also, if they're here, I would also like to announce the two former Miss Columbus, Anna Marie Larkin. You can stand up. And I would also like to recognize Jenna Teleska. Now, where is, because I can't forget this guy, he's by my building every day saying I have to do this to the building, when I was in that office, it looked like this. When I was in the office, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'd also like to have a round of applause for former Mayor White. Where is he?
He's over there. I just got him this thing.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'm going to pass it over to Vito. You can go through all these proclamations. I mean, they're all over the place. But I'll pass them over, so we'll do it quick, and then we'll go forward.
Thank you very much, David. We're going to ask the two honorees, James J. Vereruso and Michelle Pinto, to come up. This way we'll be very quick this way.
You want to give this one too?
It's surely a grand day in Westchester County. To begin with, we'll go right through the state. We had Senator Jeff Klein here earlier. He had a previous commitment, but he has certificates for both Jim and for Michelle from New York State. No, wait, not yet. You get that later. We also had Nick Spano, who is a state senator, present proclamations, and I guess we'll give them to you now. And I'm going to let each of the officials give their own proclamations. But today is a day not only in Eastchester and Tuckahoe, I'm sure, but in Westchester County. And I have to admit, I ran down to a good friend tonight, and then if you haven't eaten at Underhill Crossing, Steve Palm has been truly a gracious benefactor. And I try to get there as much as I can once every 2 years. And I went down and I got certificates because, you know, it's tough. They're going to get a lot of proclamations. And I know my sister loves to eat at Underhill Crossing. And I hope Jim, and you know, pardon me for saying Jim, but I wasn't sure about this James J. Vereruso, so I've only known him as Jim Vereruso, Esquire. So I got a gift certificate from the County of Westchester, actually my wife Sally and I, and we're going to give you a gift certificate to Underhill Crossing for at least one of your dinners, because I'm sure when you get down there, you'll have to chip in. It's a small gift certificate from me.
We'll talk to Steve after.
I hope Steve does to you as he does for me. I go down with a gift certificate of $100. I bring my whole family. So Steve, you're here tonight. I know you're here tonight. Wave to the crowd. You're a great guy. And he asked me, how much? $50? I said, what, are you kidding me? So we made it 100 each from the county, actually from my family and I. And thank you very much. Today is your day in Westchester County as well. On behalf of Andy Spano, our county executive, and Bill Ryan, chairman of the board with me, Gordon Burrows, who represents the part of the town Bronx, and myself. Thank you very much for all you do. We look forward to marching with you in the parade. I just rented my Christopher Columbus costume, so look for me walking. Ask Tony Calavita, supervisor of the town of Eastchester.
Thank you, Vito. Vito loves wearing that costume, by the way, just for the record. And one year, when his daughter was married, who's here tonight, he said, Tony, the ceremony is taking place on Columbus Day, so you have to be Christopher Columbus. So I said to myself, oh no, what am I going to do now? He says, do me a favor, I've seen your legs, just wear tights, okay? And it worked out very well. But as Vito can tell you, years ago we created the Msgr Maltese Award, and it goes to a person that is just a doer, a selfless person that does for everybody in our community. And this year I am delighted that everyone chose Michelle. She is just a superb person. As you heard earlier, she does for everybody. The Assumption Church is moving and taking such strides moving forward, largely due to her efforts. She's a wonderful person, and under this pile of proclamations, oh, here it is, right here, is a recognition of your Maltese Award from the town of Eastchester. Michelle, thank you very much. Great job. Be short and sweet, right?
Mayor Mike, Michael Martino, please come to the mic.
Thank you, David.
You got two of them.
You know, as a culture, the Italian Americans are very, very fortunate, and we worked hard to be fortunate. We've progressed so much as a culture, but to progress even further, we need role models, particularly for our youth to follow. And tonight, we have those role models with us. And it's my pleasure on behalf of the Village of Tuckahoe to recognize our role models. First, no offense, to our youngest role model, Gina. Would you mind stepping up, please? Congratulations, and on behalf of the Village of Tuckahoe, I would like to present you with this certificate of recognition for attaining the title of Miss Columbus 2006, for being the recipient of a $10,000 scholarship from the Generoso Pope Foundation, and more importantly, for being everything that you are. Our next two honorees, I'm also proud to recognize, and I'm going to ask them, we've actually split the day. I have proclamations for both of them, and we're proclaiming today both the Anne Michelle Pinto Day and the James Vereruso Day. So they're Italians, they have a lot in common, they're family, and they're going to share. So we are very proud of all your accomplishments. You're well deserved, and again, on behalf of the village, we're very, very proud of you. Michelle? Jim, again, on behalf of the village, thank you for being our Grand Marshal. We look forward to a great parade, and thank you so much for being part of tonight.
You're done, Mike. All right, Mike, shuffle to the side. At this time, I'd like to bring to the podium Mayor Marvin.
Thank you all. This is a pretty exciting and different night for an Irish girl, I have to tell you. That's all right. And I am extremely honored to be here. And I'm really here to honor my co-worker, Michelle. We work together at Village Hall, and she's just an extraordinary lady and so deserving in this honor, and truly one of the kindest people I know. And it's a joy to see her every day, and I am just completely honored to be part of this. And of course, being Bronxville, I had to give you something different, so it's just a little gift to say thank you for being such a lovely lady. Thank you.
Vito wants to sit down. He always wants to sit down and eat. Go ahead, Vito. Go. 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 This is like an Italian family. Go. Antoinette. At this time, I'd like to just bring up one last person. Don't go anywhere. Get back here. No. At this time, I'd like to bring up one last person who has worked tirelessly on tonight and on the parade, and she's probably going to kill me for bringing her up here. But, yeah. But at this time, I'd like to bring up the mayor's wife, Antoinette Martino. Once again, thank you all for coming. Enjoy the rest of the evening. It's going to be a fantastic celebration on Columbus Day. You have to come out and see it. It's getting bigger and bigger each year, and it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger. So once again, thank you very much. There's not going to be any more speeches. Thank you. Good night.
386-439.
Thank you all very much. The raffle was a great success. Thank you to the people who donated the prizes, to Rocco's, Steve Palm, and Bob DeBenedictis at La Squisita. Thank you very much. And now the music is going to be back on. And thank you, Gina.